Ever felt that knot in your stomach walking into a room, knowing that wave of surface-level chatter is about to hit? Or that hollow feeling after a dozen "how are yous" that don't really break the ice? For so many of us introverts, small talk isn't just awkward, it's like a barrier, a huge desert to cross before you find any genuine connection. You know, studies even show that the happiest folks tend to have more real, substantive conversations and way less superficial chit-chat. But what if you could change that? What if small talk, the very thing a lot of us dread, could actually be the key to unlocking truly deep and meaningful connections? Forget everything you've heard about needing to be an extrovert to connect. Seriously. What if those polite conversations you've been trying to survive could actually be, well, magical? Imagine turning those fleeting, often forgettable chats into moments of real understanding and genuine bonding. This isn't about changing who you are, it's about tapping into a hidden power you already have as an introvert. Let's be real. For many introverts, the constant pressure to make small talk is just plain exhausting. It can feel like you're putting on a performance, reading from a script you never even auditioned for, and it drains your precious energy with every empty pleasantry. You crave something more, right? Meaningful exchanges that go beyond the weather or what someone did over the weekend. This constant feeling of disconnect isn't just frustrating, it means missed chances. Missed chances for friendships, for understanding, for feeling truly seen and heard. And that little voice starts whispering, "Is this all there is to talking with people?" You're tired of shallow, and you're yearning for something real. That feeling of being out of step? It often comes from wanting conversations that actually matter, ones with emotional honesty and a bit of intellectual spark. But what if I told you about an introvert, someone probably a lot like us, who got so fed up with these superficial exchanges that they went on a personal mission? Not a mission to become an extrovert, but to crack the code of connection on their own terms. They were tired of feeling like an outsider in a world that seemed to run on chatter they found pretty hollow. Their goal? To transform dreaded small talk into something that wasn't just bearable, but actually enriching. To find the magic in everyday interactions and build those authentic bonds they'd always wanted. This isn't just their story, it's a path any of us can explore. The first code cracked, small talk's true identity. So, this introvert's first big breakthrough was a major shift in how they saw things. They realized that small talk isn't the end goal, it's just the gateway. Think of it like the front porch of a house. You don't just barge straight into the living room with a stranger, right? Small talk, no matter how trivial it seems, has a purpose. It's a social lubricant, a way to build some initial comfort and trust before you get into the deeper stuff. Research even backs this up, showing that these first, sometimes light, exchanges can help us get a feel for people's personalities and lay the groundwork for more meaningful connections down the line. It's not about loving the superficial stuff, it's about seeing its role as a stepping stone. Understanding this was a game changer. It wasn't about just gritting your teeth and enduring it, but about skillfully navigating an entry point. Code 2. The power of preparation rituals. Once this introvert understood what small talk was really for, the next discovery was how powerful a little preparation can be. Just like an athlete visualizes a race, we introverts can prepare for social interactions to lower anxiety and boost confidence. One of the simplest but most effective tricks they found? Arriving at events a bit early. This gives you a chance to settle in and start conversations in a calmer, less overwhelming setting before the place gets packed and groups have already formed. Then, they developed a 5-minute social prep exercise. Before heading to an event, they'd take just 5 minutes to 1. Think about the type of event and guess some common questions or topics that might come up. 2. Come up with a few, multi-threaded, responses about themselves or recent experiences. Simple statements that offer 3 or 4 potential follow-up paths for the other person. 3. Prepare 3 go-to, doorknob questions. These are open-ended questions to use if a conversation stalls or to gently nudge it towards more interesting topics. This wasn't about scripting every single word, but more about having a few comfortable starting points and transitions ready to go. It really helped turn that feeling of anxiety into a sense of readiness. Code 3. Navigating the currents. The art of engagement. Okay, so with preparation in hand, the next challenge was the actual conversation. Our introvert discovered that their natural strengths were actually like superpowers in disguise. Many introverts are fantastic listeners, and that's a cornerstone of deep connection. Active listening, where you're truly hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to talk, makes people feel valued and understood. They learn to stop dreading those pauses in conversation and instead use them to think up thoughtful, open-ended questions, the kind that invite stories, not just simple yes, no answers. So, instead of, "Did you have a good weekend?" they started asking things like, "What was the most interesting part of your weekend?" If someone gave a short answer, they'd gently follow up with a, "Why?" or, "Tell me more about that." They also found that sharing a genuine, non-controversial opinion and then asking for the other person's thoughts could open up some really fascinating discussions. Sometimes, just bringing up an interesting article they'd read or a thought-provoking podcast could steer things away from the usual mundane topics. The real key? Genuine curiosity. Code 4. The vulnerability key. Unlocking true authenticity. This was maybe the most profound discovery of all, the magic of vulnerability. We're not talking about oversharing, but those appropriate, honest admissions. This introvert realized that when they dared to share a genuine thought, a relatable insecurity, or even a quiet passion, it was like an invitation for the other person to let their own guard down too. This felt so much more natural than trying to keep up a facade of being perfectly put together all the time. Sometimes, they even tried a direct approach, gently moving past the most superficial layers of small talk with questions that were more thought-provoking, but still approachable. Things like, "What's something you're really passionate about lately?" or, "What's a project that's currently lighting you up?" These kinds of questions signaled a desire for a more meaningful chat, and often, people were surprisingly happy to go there. The goal shifted from just getting through the conversation to actually connecting. It meant focusing on the connection itself, not on performing or trying to impress anyone. Code 5. Mastering the mindset. Embracing introvert strengths. A huge piece of this transformation was internal. Our introverts stopped seeing their introversion as a social handicap and started to recognize its actual strengths. Introverts often excel at speaking authentically and from the heart, and that creates way more meaningful connections than any surface-level charm can. They learn to speak from a place of genuine interest, focusing on substance rather than trying to put on a show. They also reframed their goal in conversations. It wasn't about trying to dazzle everyone or be the life of the party. Instead, it was about finding something anything, really, that they could genuinely enjoy discussing with the other person. This could be a shared interest, a curious idea, or even just trying to understand a different perspective. Studies actually back this up. People who have more substantive conversations tend to report feeling better overall. That aversion many introverts feel towards small talk? It isn't about disliking people. It's about conserving our finite social energy for those deeper, more rewarding exchanges. It's about craving conversations that give us intellectual stimulation and a real sense of connection, instead of interactions that just feel draining and fake. Code 6. The art of the graceful exit. Preserving your energy. Finally, this introvert mastered the super important skill of managing their energy. This meant learning how to leave a conversation gracefully when it felt like it had run its course, or when their social battery was getting low. A simple, "It was really great talking to you. I should probably go mingle a bit, grab a drink, head out now, but I hope we can chat again sometime," worked like a charm. More importantly, they gave themselves permission to leave events early. Once they'd achieved what they wanted socially, maybe having one or two meaningful interactions, they understood it was totally okay to leave and recharge. This wasn't rude, it was self-care. And it prevented that awful feeling of complete energy depletion that can make us introverts shy away from future social events. Honoring their energy needs became a top priority. The climax: resolution, the magic, and deep connections. And so, by making these discoveries, this introvert's world really started to change. Those social events they used to dread turned into opportunities. Shallow chit-chat became the starting point for genuine exchanges. They found themselves building authentic bonds, not by changing who they were, but by leaning into their natural strengths and using these codes. The magic wasn't some illusion, it was the real, tangible result of being intentional, empathetic, and willing to approach connection in a way that honored their introverted nature. Small talk was no longer a wall but a doorway. Every interaction now held the potential to be meaningful, to create a real connection, because they had learned how to guide it there. They realized that focusing on quality over quantity in conversations was the secret to building these deeper, more intentional connections. This journey of transformation isn't just for one person. You have these codes within you too. So, I want to invite you to go on your own mission. Pick one or two of these strategies and try them out. Just see what happens when you approach your next conversation with a little more intention, a little more curiosity, and a little more of your authentic self. What are your biggest challenges with small talk? Or maybe you've discovered a code of your own that helps you connect. Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. And if this resonated with you, if you're ready to unlock deeper connections, please give this video a like, and subscribe for more insights and strategies designed for introverts who want to navigate the world with confidence and authenticity. Transforming small talk from something you dread into an opportunity for deep connection isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about understanding the dynamics, preparing thoughtfully, engaging authentically, and honoring your built-in strengths as an introvert. That desire for meaningful connection is a human one, and for us introverts, it's often a pretty profound need. By cracking these codes, you can move beyond the surface and start cultivating the rich, authentic relationships you truly deserve. The magic is real, and it's just waiting for you to unlock it.